everybody, Fred here, Whitetail Strategies Guide Service. Doing some fishing on Lake Champlain today for crappies and perch. A little late season action. I just turned the camera on because we just got set up. We've got a few fish already on the ice, and just had a jiggerjack go off, and so I thought I'd show you the results of the jiggerjack. Feels like a nice crappie. Just using these as like a dead stick with live bait. Small minnows on a jig head. Yep, a nice crappie. They do get a little bigger than that. This is the white crappie. We get a mix of white and black. The whites tend to be a little bit bigger, but you can get some pretty nice black crappies in this lake too. And just a simple painted white lead head jig. Nothing special really. It's the minnow. They're starting to feed up for spring spawn, so we're out here to put some of these guys in the freezer, and they're really good to eat. Pretty easy to clean out. They come through in groups, small schools. This time of year they're traveling, and this is, I don't know, the third week of March. This year we've had a lot of ice, a lot of cold weather, longer season than we're normally dealing with. And I'll show you another fish. It's a bit bigger. That's a better representation of a good crappie. You know, so I got two jiggerjacks set up, and I've also got just a jig stick. I'll show you what I'm using on that. That's a slippery little bugger. So, try to give you a close up. Just a white lead head with a little wiggly small minnow on there. And I'm setting these up about 16 inches off the bottom. They're coming in anywhere from a foot to 14 inches. I'm seeing on the fish finder. I got a crappie right underneath us right now. Two crappies. So get this set up here. Reel a little bit of line up. Loop goes on the trigger. Around first bar. Over the top of the second. trying to set it up, and there's a fish hitting it, so I might have lost the bait on that one, but we'll see. We'll give it a few minutes. Now there's something still there. I can see the minnow twitching a little bit. I'll show you what I'm working with here. Got a 5mm Fiska Glow with Noogie from Little Adam. Great baits. If you guys have never tried them, never heard of them, Google search them. I'll have them up on the website as a link. You can get them at many different places. I usually carry a small stock, so if you're having trouble finding them, or if you live in the Vermont area and you're looking to get some, I can get you the connections. Either a place nearby you, or I send a few people some baits. It's not. I fished with many different clients from around the country, and surprisingly, there's different baits in different areas that everybody's fond of. These are really wiggly plastic. Get them in water and they look just real, and incredible movement and action. And, with the Fiska, the 5mm Fiska, and the Noogie, the Fiska is a tungsten jig and it's nice and heavy, so I can get it just above the crappie marks on the sonar and just and shake it and wait, and I get a little nick there, and they see that just wiggle, and it drives them crazy. Little Adam's got a lot of different products. I'm pretty fond of the Noogies myself, but they've got a whole line of different plastics and jigs. I don't think I could recommend a better bait as far as plastic goes, but this is just my opinion. That's not everybody would agree with me. That's okay. That's what fishing is about, is being, having a diverse fishing community. So everybody's got their own little thing, their own little way of doing things. Some guys are real fond of XLR. Some guys like the Markham, Humminbird. They're all good. It's what you're comfortable with, what fits you for fishing. There's different features for different companies. Same with jig rods. This is a Eagle Claw inline with a 13 fishing white noise rod. Some guys have a rod that is their go-to, and I've had a chance of sampling many different rods and reels and for different applications over the years, and so I've kind of got a mix of everything, for pan fishing to heavy pike and big lake trout jigging. So it's pretty rare to find two people that will fish identically with the same stuff and have the same success. That's fishing, and that's an attraction to the outdoors. Make your own adventure. I was hoping to show you another crappie on video here, but I think I lost my bait on that rig there. This other jigger jack over here, I don't think you could see on camera. That's set up just a bit higher than this one, and I'm seeing more action on this setup over here on this rod with a jigger jack than I am on that one. Sometimes that makes a difference with these crappies. They like it at a certain depth. Sometimes they could be picky. Sometimes you can't do wrong, and those are the great days. Those are the fun days to bring your kids out and your friends, and the tough days when they're being real picky. You get to learn some things, different techniques, different approaches, being real soft, being real aggressive, trying all sorts of different things, and then you remember that next time you go out and apply that. I've read lots of magazines, and I have lots of friends. Get ready to go on here, and most of the knowledge that I have is learning and making mistakes, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with taking advice of somebody's, experience and learning from their mistakes. That's another good way of learning, especially outdoors stuff, because we can't spend every single day all year long, out in the field and in the woods and on the water. So sometimes it's nice to have friends and guides and outfitters that you can go to for advice, and not even necessarily booking a guide or booking an outfitter for a hunt or for a fishing trip. It's just having access to those people to plan your own vacation and try to do it your own. And I'm not trying to cut myself out of business, but sometimes it's just not in your budget, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy yourself out fishing and hunting. I'm one of those guys that you send me an email asking me how things are going. I'm one of those outfitters, one of the guides that will actually tell you what's really going on. Am I going to give you GPS coordinates to my favorite spots? Some cases, yes. Like these ice fishing, a lot of these places are community areas, and I can give you GPS coordinates and directions to those places, but I also have my own spots that I use for taking clients, and they're secluded and off the beaten path, not a lot of guides and outfitters would do that. There are some, and I'm friends with quite a few that are they handle themselves with the general public very well, and I like to think that I do too. And waiting for that. It keeps wiggling. I see that minnow keep wiggling it around. Something's down there making him nervous. I'm seeing on the... There it goes. I thought so. Set this rod down. Mess around. That chunk of ice getting away here. There we go. Well, in the process of all that, the fish had come off. So instead of reeling it up, I pull it up by hand and check it. And send it back down. That way I don't have to reset the depth. I know what's going on for depth. I can just put it back, reset it, and we're back in business. Doesn't get them every time, but I had the fish. He was hooked, but I'm messing around with a chunk of ice over there, and lost fish, but that's okay. There's plenty of fish. Got a couple underneath us right now. We're in about 17 feet of water in a channel on the southern end of Lake Champlain. It's murky water. There we go. There's a fish. And a small perch. Getting some really nice perch. A few black crappies, white crappies. Most of all, having fun. And trying to put some fish in the freezer. So, get my baits down in here, see what we can do, and hopefully put a couple more fish in the ice. Alright, that's it for today, so thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody.